Lengthening your exhale, completing your exhale. And then letting your inhale drop into base of pelvis, bowl of pelvis, waist, ribs, circumference of the waist, the ribs. And exhale slowly, feeling the shrinking of the ribs, the waist, the belly. Complete the exhale. Inhale. Pelvic floor responds. Bowl of pelvis fills the whole bowl. Back, sides, front. The waist, back, sides, front. And the ribs, back ribs as they knit into the spine. Top ribs, tops of shoulders, side ribs, front ribs. And exhale. Again, feeling that shrinking, maybe from the periphery towards the center, but the center stays clear as you complete the breath. And one more breath on your own. Good. Let's just do a couple rounds of alternate nostril breathing. So folding with your right hand, folding your pointer and middle finger into the base of your thumb. So your ring and little finger come together. And so the pressure on the nostrils is pretty light, right? So we're still trying to organize the breath through the different nostrils. So I'm going to go just below the bridge of the nose, the bony part onto the cartilage part. I'm just sitting on that juncture, right where the cartilage starts, and holding the right upper nostril, exhaling through the left, and inhaling through the left. Pause at the top. Close off both nostrils, switch, exhale through the right. Breath slow and steady, same rhythm you had before. Inhale right. Pause, close off both. Feeling the length of the neck, the length of the spine, switch, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Slow, steady, diffuse. Close off both as you pause. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close off both nostrils gently. Neck is long, spine is long. Switch, exhale through the left. And bringing your right hand back to your thigh. Just observing the effects of the breath, quality of the breath. Palms together in front of your heart. Again, just an acknowledgement of any nourishment that is needed. Your body and your heart, your mind. and that allowing, that receiving. And let's begin with one Om. Om. Okay, stretching the legs forward. And let's start on our backs. So knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and I'm just going to take the arms overhead. Maybe just pick up the right foot, point, flex, big circle in one direction a few times. Getting all the movements at the ankle, right? The point, the flex, turning right, turning left, changing direction. And right foot down, left foot up, pointing, flex, point, flex, and then big circle, hitting all of the point, turning right, flex, turning left, full juicy movements, change direction. Toes are also finding movement. Good, and left foot on the floor. Good, taking the arms up to the ceiling, interlace the fingers, and press the palms up towards the ceiling. So letting the little fingers and thumbs stay connected so you can spread heel of the hand, the ball of the hand. Good, let the ribs stay heavy, the shoulders stay heavy, and let's take the arms overhead. And letting the breath just fall in and fall out easily. Float in, float out. And then up to the ceiling. Good, arms out to the side for a moment, straight out. And maybe let the head roll to the right. And center, not our super slow, just a middle slow. And left. Just noticing any tightness or holding. And then bend the arms so the elbows stay where they are and the forearms come perpendicular to the upper arms. Feeling the shoulder blades heavy, the upper arms, back of hands heavy. Good, and then one more time, arms overhead. So I'm gonna straighten my right leg. Left leg, or left arm is overhead. And I'm gonna slowly bring my right knee and my left hand towards each other. And press them into each other. And then slowly extend. Right leg, left arm. And then come together. And press and extend. Right leg away from left arm. And press. And one more time, extend, lengthening through the entire body. And then as they come together, that engagement from the length. And then right foot on the floor, left arm overhead, other side. So extending that left leg out on the floor. And then slowly, right hand, left knee come together and just press. And extend the limbs away from each other. And then slide them back together and press. And again, there's just a little bit of organization in the abdomen. We are doing a little bit of a diagonal, so it's the right kind of lower ribs, upper abdominals, and the left lower abdominals. the obliques and extend away and draw back in and press. Last time, extend and press. Both feet on the floor, both arms overhead again. Good. So pelvis stays heavy, ribs stay heavy, and the feet get light. Heels off the floor, toes on the floor. And I'm just gonna slide the legs straight. And then we're gonna do both sides same time. So as the feet slide back in and the knees come towards the hands come towards the knees. Press, let the ribs drop. And then slowly extend. Arms overhead, lengthening the legs, ribs stay heavy. And then again, slowly, arms come to knees, hands press into knees, knees press into hands. And extend overhead with the arms and down with the legs. Let's slide the feet in, float the arms down to the legs, hands and feet press. Last time. Come back and press and hold here just for a moment so you can feel lower abdominals just above the pubis, below the navel, around the navel, above the navel, below the ribs. And then feet to the floor. And again, arms overhead. Okay, then I'm going to roll onto my side, onto my right side. So my right arm is going to be directly overhead. So my head is going to be on my right arm and my legs and feet are going to stack. So I'm in one straight line, maybe using the edge of your mat. And left hand is on the floor to help me balance to start. And I'm just going to lift that left foot off the right foot. And I'm just going to slowly take that left leg forward and back. And I'm going to keep it small, forward and back, forward and back. So there is a little bit of need for the right leg to press into the floor, back and forward, back and forward. One more time, back and forward. And then pick that left hand off the floor and try a couple more. So it may even be smaller. Back and forward and back and forward, back and forward. And then come back to center, hand on the floor. Good. And roll onto your other side. I'm just going to come over and switch to the other side so I can still see you. And left arm overhead so the head can rest on the arm. Legs stacked, hips stacked, shoulders stacked. Light touch on those right fingertips. So letting the outer edge of that left foot and left leg press into the floor. Float that right leg up. Forward with the right and back. Forward, small movement with focus. Forward and back, forward and back. Now take the hand away from the floor. Maybe it's there just for support. Maybe the movement's even smaller. Help organize. Forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. And then stack the legs, bend the knees, and come on. Okay. And then let's make our way up to stand. All right, standing. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to stand. Actually, I'm going to start with this one. Okay, so I'm going to stand with my feet together. Similar movement we did on the floor. Left arm overhead, right foot steps back. And then bringing right knee forward and up as left hand comes to the right knee, that little bit of press into each other. And then right leg back, left arm up to the ceiling. Now I'm just going to play with the arms a little bit. So left hand comes down, right knee comes up, right arm comes back. And then I'm going to let that right arm continue to come up as I step that right leg back. Now let the left arm come back, reach back. So the ribs are going to turn to the left to let that left arm come up. And then I'm going to do it again. Right, like I'm taking a big breaststroke. Right arm up and forward, left arm back and up. And as I come forward with the left hand, right knee comes to me. One more time, right arm sweeps forward, up and forward, left arm back, up, forward, left hand meets the right knee, and step. Good. Other side. Right arm up, left leg back. So starting more simply, as that right arm comes down, left knee comes forward and up to me. Maybe even reach that left arm back, just to counterbalance. Just that one simple movement. Right arm up, left leg back. Right arm comes down, left arm comes back, just as a counterbalance. And then let's do the full movement with the arms. So as that right arm comes down, again, the left arm comes back and up. As that left leg comes back, the right arm comes back and up. Right hand meets that left leg, left arm back and up. As the left leg comes back to the ground. And then right arm back and up, forward to meet the left leg. One more time, just fluid motion through the arms, through the shoulders, through the waist. Last time. Good, and then step feet together. Okay, so we're gonna add an element or shift some elements. Okay, so left arm up overhead, right toes back behind you, toes to the floor. As that knee comes forward and up, left hand comes down, right arm reaches back. So I'm going to simplify it a little bit. So as the left arm lifts and the right foot steps back, and I'm just going to little bend, right knee comes towards the floor, not to the floor, but towards, and then straighten. And again, left hand, right knee. Left arm up, right foot back, right knee down, and straighten. Let's try one with the arm. So left arm comes down to meet the knee, right arm comes back and then up. As that right foot steps back, left arm back, knee bends, straighten. Right arm down, left arm up, left hand to right knee. One more, again, just that, it's like a breaststroke. Add it in. Full movement in the ribs, shoulders. Last one just for fun. Good. And then feet together and stand. Okay, other side. Feet parallel. Right arm up, left toes back. Okay, so left knee forward and up. Right arm comes to meet. Little bit of squeeze, left arm back. And then simple, right arm up, left toes back. And then left knee comes to meet the right hand. Come back, a little more complex. Left knee bends, straightens, left leg up, right hand meets. Left leg back and down. So let's start with the arms. So left arm comes back and up, whoops. And then right arm comes to meet the left leg. And then right arm continues back, left arm up as you go back and down. Right arm back and up, left leg steps forward to meet the right hand. So finding your rhythm, step back, find the movement in the arms, left knee to right hand. Right arm forward, or right arm back and up as you step back, left arm forward. Step up, right hand meets the left knee. Last time. Just coordinating the movement. And pause, feet parallel. Yay. Okay, so now let's stand, feet pretty wide, toes pointing out. Just bending, come into a little squat, little goddess squat. Shifting right and left, right and left. Good, one leg will straighten as the other one bends. Shift and shift, shift and shift. Shift, right leg bends, left leg straights, just dip towards the right leg and switch. Dip towards the left leg and switch, left leg straight, right leg bent, dip over that right leg, just sweep the hand towards the floor and dip, lift, sweep that left hand towards the floor. One more time, each side and left and come up. Pause in the middle and straighten. Okay, so similar, there's a little complexity to it. So I'm just gonna bend my right leg, but I'm gonna tip towards my left leg. And I'm gonna lean back and look up towards my right hand. And then I'm just gonna slide, I'm gonna trace along the floor, sliding that left hand around towards the right foot. Pivot on that left foot, coming to a rotated lunge. Right arm reaches forward towards the wall in front of me, down towards the floor. I'm gonna step that left foot in and straighten both legs. And then reach that right arm back towards the back of the mat, back of the room, up towards the ceiling. So I'm gonna rotate a triangle. Right hand comes to meet the left hand. Pivot on the feet, come back to my wide straddle. Knees bend. Roll up to stand. Other side. Left knee bends. I'm going to tip to the right. Right hand towards the right ankle. Left arm up, lean back, look up to the left hand. And then trace along the floor, right hand towards the left foot. Pivot on that right foot. Left arm up, turn and look up, rotated lunge. Left arm reaches forward to the wall in front of me, down towards the left foot, right foot steps in. And it doesn't have to set all the way to the floor. The heel can be off the floor, right? Which helps if you don't have a block. But left hand reaches back towards the back of the mat, back of the room, up towards the ceiling, a little rotated triangle variation. Left arm forward, meet the right hand, pivot on the feet, come back to that wide straddle on the feet, bend the knees, and round up. Okay, one more time. So bending left leg. We just did that. So let's go this way, right? Bending right leg, left hand down, right arm up, turn and look up. swing that left hand around towards the inside of that right foot. Left heel lifts, rotated lunge. Right arm reaches forward. Down, step that left foot in a little. Heel doesn't have to be on the floor. Reach that right arm back. Both legs are straight though. Right arm back and up towards the ceiling. And around, down. Open up the feet, toes open, bend the knees. Roll up to stand. Okay. Bending right, left leg, tipping to the right. Bending that left leg, tipping to the right. Right hand to the right ankle, left arm up, look up, lean back, look up. Right hand traces around to the inside of the left foot. Turn and look up. Rotated lunge. Left arm reaches forward and down to the floor. Step in a little. Reach that left arm back. Up to the ceiling. Turn, look up. Reach forward. Left hand to right hand. Toes wide, feet wide. Bend the knees. Round up to stand. Okay, let's add one element. Did we do both sides? We did. Okay, so bending. So tipping left. It's so funny going right and left. You get very confused at a certain point, which I think is good for brain development. We're trying to get the conversation to go right, left, right, left. Okay, so right leg bends, left hand to wrist. Right arm up, lean back, look up. Again, trace that left hand towards the inner right foot. Reach up, look up. Okay, right arm reaches forward. Down, step the left foot in. Straighten both legs, reach that right arm back. And up. And then I'm gonna come back into my lunge. And then I'm gonna step my left knee to the outside of my right foot and sit down. Right arm still reaching up, left hand down, look up. And then wherever your left hand is, slide your left hand out and put your elbow on the floor. So elbow and forearm are on the floor. Good, and then I'm gonna let that right arm fall back to the wall behind me, turning the chest towards the ceiling. And then let that right arm sweep around in a big circle towards the crown of the head, around as it comes in front of me. I'm gonna turn the ribs towards the floor, round it back as that right arm reaches towards the feet, around the legs. Right, turning more into a back bend. Right arm comes back. And again around. And as it comes forward, I'm turning my ribs to the floor, cat shape. Reach around the legs. As the arm comes back, cow shape with the ribs. And last time coming forward, so I'm going to set the right fingertips on the floor by the left fingertips. And just for a moment, with that rounded shape, I'm going to slide that right hand forward and slide it back. And then walk the hands back in. Put my left hand on the inside of that right foot again. Just shift forward, come back into my rotated lunge. Right hand down, straddle, come back to the straddle, toes pointing out, bend the knees, and round up to stand. And then we'll do the other side. So bending left leg, tipping to the right, left arm up, turn and look up. Okay, right arm traces around inside that left leg. Left arm up. Reach that left arm forward and down, step the right foot in. Heel doesn't have to be on the floor. You can even keep the heel
quite lifted. Reach that left arm back and up and down. And then step back into the lunge. And I'm going to let my right knee come to the outside of my left foot. Left arm to the ceiling. Right hand comes slightly behind to look up. And then where my hand is, where my right hand is, I'm going to put my elbow down and forearm down. And then let that left arm fall back. And so there's an extension through the spine and opening through the chest. Left arm tracing towards the head side. Big arc around the head. As the arm reaches in front of me, my ribs will turn towards the floor. Maybe even fingers trace along the floor. And then around the legs with that left hand and back and over, head side. Then at a certain point, my ribs turn again, rounding, turning, reaching the hand down, going around the knees. And nice as the arm reaches back, nice open chest. And then come around again, this time left fingers to the floor by the right hand. And I'm just going to slide, keeping that rounded shape, slide that left hand forward. Let that right arm bend more, and then slide in. Walk the hands in, right hand close to that left foot. Step back into my rotated lunge. Left hand comes forward and down to the right hand. Pivot on the feet. I'm in my straddle with my toes turned out. Bend the knees. And round up to stand. Okay, so feet together. Okay, a couple more silly things. So I am going to come down onto hands and knees to start. So palms under shoulders, knees under hips. We're just going to kind of walk it forward in a couple steps. So we've done this one before. So knees together, feet together, and I'm going to take my right foot and move it out towards the side of the room as much as I can. Right, the thigh, the top of the thigh will turn towards the left leg and then back. Left foot pulls out to the side. Again, it internally rotates the leg. So that left top of the thigh turns towards the right leg. And come back in, right side again, center, left side again, center, right side. Maybe the tailbone follows. And center, so there's a little side bend. Left foot, tailbone follows. And center, maybe this time the tailbone doesn't follow. And center, left side, and center. One more time, let the tailbone follow, center, other side. Left foot travels out to the side, tailbone follows. Good, so right leg again. We've done this one before. Left leg reaches towards the bottom of the mat, maybe just on the tip of that big toe. Right hand down, right knee down, left toes down, left arm up. Good, one of these. Just reach that left hand now down to the right hand, round the ribs, turn the ribs to the right, and then back up to the ceiling. Left hand on the floor. Wide back, round back, turning the ribs slightly to the right. Good, knees together, left foot out to the side, right toes to the bottom edge of the mat, right arm up. Good, maybe even take that right arm back, turn up, look to that right hand. Sweep that right hand down and almost through to the left, under the body, turning the ribs to the left. One more time, up, extension, flexion, right hand comes down to the floor. Keep that flexion, round it, wide back, turning the ribs to the left. Good, knees together. Okay, so plank pose. Similar but different. So I'm gonna turn, right hips to the right hips down to the right a little bit and center. And then I'm gonna turn outer left hip towards the floor, pubis to the right. And I'm just rotating the pelvis to the right, center, left. Center, one more time, right, center, left, center. So this time I'm going to pivot again, but mostly on the feet. So outer right foot on the floor, left foot comes behind the right foot, reach that left arm up, look up. And again, as I bring that left hand down, I'm rounding. So I'm containing the front body, widening, spreading the back body, slow descent, left hand down, back to plank. Good, rolling outer left foot on the floor, hips follow, right foot comes behind, left arm up, right arm up. Left hand down, left foot down, reach up, look up to that right hand. And then as I come down, there's that containment of the front body. There's that slight flexion. Slow it down, slow it down. So there's a point where I'm balanced as I come back to plank. One more time, to the right, outer right foot, left foot behind, left arm up. Good, maybe containing the ribs a little bit more here. And then left hand comes back to the floor. There's that widening in the back. There is almost a sense of the pubis lifting towards the lower ribs as I slowly pivot back to plank. Outer left foot, right foot behind, right arm up. Good, right hand back to the floor. Feel that rounding as you slowly descend the right hand down. Both feet down. Now just easy, outer right foot, Vashisthasana. Stack the feet, left arm up. Slowly, left hand down. Outer left foot on the floor. Right arm up. Vashisthasana. Again, slow descent. Right hand down. Plank pose. Knees down. Child's pose. Let your breath elongate, even just a little. Good, and then walk your hands back under your shoulders, pull your hips back and down, and round up. Okay, one more. Similar. So this time, forearms to the floor. Good, and so let's start with the knees under the hips. And let's do palms up towards the ceiling and just pull hips back. Keeping the fingernails on the floor if you can. And shift forward. And back, maybe even the thumbnails. Think about the floor. And forward. And back, right? Moving the ribs away from the upper arms. And forward. And back. And then bringing the forearms to the floor. And just for a moment, let's come into forearm plank. Shoulders over the elbows. Good, and just for a moment, dip the knees towards the floor, touch, and then extend the legs. One more time, bend, and extend the legs. So similar in that I'm going to shift my hips to the right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, one more time, right, center, left, center, knees down. Good, and pull the hips back. Keep the palms down as you draw the ribs away from the arms, away from the hands. Okay, and then come up to sit. All right, so we are going to do that same thing that we did in plank pose. Right, outer edge of the right foot, left foot comes behind to start. Forearm, playing with forearm Vashisthasana. So forearm plank. Good, rolling. So the hips do that same movement, but I'm going to roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Left foot comes behind, left arm up. Again, there's a little bit of an extension, but as I come back down, I'm playing with the flexion. And I'm moving through the balance point to come back to forearm plank. Outer edge of the left foot, right foot behind, right arm up. And feeling the tailbone reach down towards that left foot and slightly forward. So I'm starting to feel the tailbone move towards the pubis, pubis towards the navel. So as I bring that forearm back down, there's that containment, front body. You'll start to feel the balance point. Outer edge of the right foot, left toes behind, left arm up. Again, left arm returns to the floor slowly. Finding, moving through the balance point. Outer left foot, right foot behind, right arm up. Right arm comes back down. Containing, containing. Front lower ribs towards the pubis, pubis towards the front lower ribs. And down. And sit. Try it one more time, this time balancing. I'm just going to shift direction so I can face you for the first one. Okay, forearms on the floor. Stepping back to forearm plank. Outer edge of the right foot, right, feel the movement of the hips. Now pull the right foot towards the right hand, left foot behind to start. Left arm up. And maybe stack the feet. And feel that containment in the front body. Maybe even lift the left leg, whoops, off the right leg. Good, slowly descend. Other side, outer edge of the left foot. Let's just come right into forearm Vashisthasana. Maybe right leg lifts. And down. And lower down slowly. Forearm plank. Knees down. Hands on the floor. Let's lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Slow the breath down. Feeling the weight in your hands, right hand, left hand. The outer edge, the inner edge, base of thumb, base of fingers. Same with the feet. Right, the outer edge of the foot, ball of foot, inner edge of the ball. Notice which toes are heavy, which toes are light. One more breath. The knees to the floor and sit back on your heels. Okay, last thing. So should we come to the wall? We can come to the wall. I'm gonna leave my mat, but it doesn't have to be at the wall. It could be in the center of the room. We did this maybe last week. So it's an attempt to do a handstand without doing a handstand. We did this last week. So I'm gonna imagine my mat, which is about 2 feet wide, hands to the floor, and right foot on one edge of the mat, left leg to the ceiling. And then again, I'm gonna lift the pelvis, kick that left leg up and that right leg up, because I want to bring the right foot over to the other side of the mat. And then lift. Like this elegant little hop, right? That I want to find the lift from not even necessarily the kick of the legs. It's more, how do I lift the pelvis up? Right, and we've just done a lot of hips lifting. So right foot outer edge of the mat, left leg up. And again, just kicking up to get that right foot to the inner edge of that mat. Even if your mat isn't there. And again, you can also do this in the center of the room if you don't have a wall. Okay. Other side, hands on the floor, close to the wall. So the key is not to get dependent on the wall, right? So that we are not afraid to flip over and we have some sense of control. We have some sense of understanding how the body is organizing itself to get there. So other side, right foot on the side closest to you, that edge of the mat. And I'm just going to try to lift and get the right foot to the other edge, right? Lift and back the other way. Like just feeling the lift, the buoyancy in the hips. Doesn't even have to be a big hop. It's just the feeling of it. So first block is going to be the middle width, right? Not the skinny width, but the middle width. I don't know, maybe 4 inches away from the wall. Second block, middle height, narrow width. And I want my blocks stacked so they're both pretty balanced. Okay. So the action with the arms is the squeezing the block with the hands, which will organize the whole arm, inner arm, upper arm against the body, right? If you pull here, if you use one hand to pull the arm in, you feel those kind of lower, the under shoulder engage, and maybe even a little bit of the back shoulder engage. And then if I push my hand into the floor, right, these are the consistent efforts. Squeezing, pushing into the floor. Again, hopefully to engage. Back of arm, back of shoulder. So palms against the block. Squeezing the block, pulling the block down into the floor, outer hand into the floor, outer blade of the forearm into the floor. So head close to the block, not necessarily resting on the block. I'm more interested in the crown of the head connecting to the floor. Again, it doesn't have to be a lot of pressure. I just want a straight line down through the center of the skull. Toes under, knees up, walk the feet in, find the upper back on the block. So even though I'm supported, I still want to Squeeze the block, pull the block down into the floor. And I want to build that strength in that knowledge and strength in my arms, shoulders, and neck. Right, that it's a vertical posture upside down. It also helps us learn how we support, right? When we're standing, we support the neck from the feet up. And even though we're inverted, we still support the neck from the feet up. So maybe bend the knees a little bit, wiggle those outer hips up towards the ceiling. Good. If your tailbone curls quite strongly towards your pubis, maybe keep the knees slightly bent. Let's take that right leg forward towards the center of the room and up towards the ceiling. Keep pulling that left outer hip up. And as if the legs could hug towards the center line. Breathe, listen, feel. Notice what hand gets tired. Notice what shoulder gets tired. Right foot down. Left foot out and up. Again, both hands meet the block. Both forearms meet the floor. Both shoulder blades engage on the back. Right outer hip lifts. Both inner thighs hug the center line. Left foot down. Walk the feet out. Knees to the floor. Good, maybe open the knees. You can even stack the hands, chin on the hands. Or you can come into a downward facing dog. Okay. And then let's come back onto our mat. And I'm going to angle them. So the edge of the block that's closest to my body is also close to my head. I'm angled like this. And so the part that's further away from the body is angled towards the feet. So it's this shape. I'm just going to press into the feet, lift the hips up, slide that shape under my body so that that triangle is almost mimicking the triangle of my sacrum. Right now I have the edge of the block pretty close to the sacrum. So it's in that, the tendons that attach to the edge of the sacrum. Good, hands on the blocks. I'm just going to lift my ribs up, walk my ribs away, just so my lower back feels quite long. There's a little bit of traction, and my ribs, rather than pushing towards the ceiling, right? If the back muscles are still engaged a little bit, I want them to sink towards the floor. Hands can be on ribs. Just letting the buttock tissue relax. Like into with that just gentle pressure from the block. Like the weight of the body on the block. And then taking feet together and letting the knees widen. Good. Again, if your back muscles turn on and you start to arch away from the floor, you can scoop the ribs, lift them up, slide them a little further away from the blocks. Arms can be out, away from the body, if that feels good. Palms even down or up. Different effect in the shoulder, in the arm. in the front of the front shoulder and chest. Sometimes with the arms internally rotated, the shoulder blades can widen. Right, with the palms up, it's just different. Sometimes the chest can widen, the collarbones can widen. And just feel what's right for you today. Then slowing the breath down. Slowing the breath down. And anytime we alter the breath, there is sometimes the tendency to create more anxiety around the breath. But easy and gently, just a lengthening. The breath. So as if you could take in a little more breath, but it comes in slower, more gently, more diffuse. And same, you're able to exhale more. And the slowness, allowing a deeper release. And then bringing the feet to the floor, the knees slowly up. Pause for a few breaths here. Maybe even take the feet a little wider. Again, staying present with the breath. Again, if that creates too much discomfort, maybe just watch how the body moves, maybe the rise and the fall of the belly or the chest. And walking the feet a little closer, press into the feet, knees pull towards the toes, little posterior tilt in the pelvis, lift the hips, slide the blocks out, slowly, slowly roll the spine down. Keeping that slight posterior tilt so you can lay the ribs down, the lumbar spine down, and the sacrum down. Good, extending the legs. And feeling your body settle into the floor. If you want to tuck your blanket under your thighs, please do so, or put it over you. It is still winter. And just for a moment, just really dropping back into your body. Right, notice where your mind has traveled to and just gently call it back to the movement of your breath. Maybe imagining that you could sink into the soil, into that fertile spring soil. And then maybe just for a moment, bringing your awareness to a tree, maybe in your yard, maybe a tree that you've seen in your journeys, a majestic tree, or just a simple, something that has caught your awareness. And just imagining the tree with the bark. Maybe even imagining at this place where it's still maybe dormant if it's not an evergreen. The branches, the buds, the roots, with the root system moving, searching for nourishment in the soil, searching for fellow trees, community. Like the life within the tree. Like that they also communicate through electrical and hormonal impulses or pulses. Maybe just that sense of the qualities that you share, you and the tree. Or the joy that it gives you. Or the birds that it cares for. And the other animals. The shade or fruit. Just that sense of the cycle of nature in the tree and the resonance within your own body. Like the soil of your own body, the microbiome of your own system. That ability to respond and communicate. The effect of the moon, the sun, the water, the cold, the wind. And then just aware of your own body for a moment. Your breath. Movement through your fingers and toes. Bending your knees.
Gently roll onto your side. And up to sit. And aware of your breath, your placement, your seat. Right? And the seat can mean anything from the placement of your physical body to the state of your mind, your focus, your attention, intention. When your mind wanders far, maybe gently guide it back, unless it feels relevant, unless it feels nourishing. And maybe if it wanders into nourishment, gently thread that back into your body. Like feeling the sun beam down on you, warming you, filling you. Or the sound of the birds, the ocean. The magic of the colors of the water of the ocean, the bay, lakes, rivers. And palms together in front of your heart, just in recognition of all that is nourishing. Om